Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Eve Echoes. Tonight on the show, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. There's a lot on the plate right now, in terms of content, in terms of issues. We don't have time in the world to cover all the issues. They're quite a lot, but I'm here to talk about some things that I noticed along the way. Also some of the stuff that you guys suggested. Plus we're going to talk about the May update. That is just around the corner. But first, let us dive into the community question of the week giveaway winners. As usual, we've got 3 Omega combo clones ready to go out to 3 lucky winners. So let's see who those are. The community question of the week was, what is your favorite tanking method? And of course, taking into consideration all the changes that have been done with the latest battles update, have you switched between them? First winner is Hi, with the comment, just started playing the new event. Safe sector is boring, mining takes very long for a few points, and it's ruled by mining barges. The sleeper ships just get deleted by a fleet of like 40 players that will laugh even at some T10 content. In like 3 to 5 minutes, all the ships are gone, and then 20-30 minutes to respawn. Some hours ago, there were even 2 Nidogers among the players farming the base, while Perilous Sector equals enormous fleets of all sorts of strong and OP ships camping all the time. It seems like there is only one system of each for the entire New Eden, meaning all the players have to compete with each other for the stuff. Actually, no, there are many perilous systems and also many PvE systems. You can check the designation at the top left corner. We've talked about it in the previous video. And yeah, I think there's about 20 systems for each of the type, like high-sec and null-sec. It's kind of spread around. It's a bit difficult to get into the same system unless you hit that button which says go to last system, which will basically take you back to the system in which you were previously when you died. Anyway, let's continue. I don't know if it was a mistake from Naties or something intentional so just few people can succeed at the event. Yeah, these are some valid points. We've talked about how the event could have been better, could have been way better designed. I thought of making it like New Eden-wide, cluster-wide, not just some enclosure. Like, we're not in the zoo here, right? About the community question, it's still Shield, as you or Benzi said. They changed the stats, but it's mainly the feeling. At least it feels somewhat different now, and I agree, it's good to see they are fixing some stuff. I usually use more Shield, but to be honest, armor isn't that bad. Yeah, I'm just using armor myself, and it's not that bad. It's actually pretty okay. I usually use more Shield, but to be honest, armor isn't bad. But for most of the players, I think Shield will still be the main option unless you're flying ships that should be armor tanked, or really like Mmorpg ships. Yeah, the problem with the armor stuff is it's bad on fleet level. Meanwhile, Shield and armor are kind of on the same page, not the same functionalities. Definitely there's differences between how much an armor rep reps and how much a shield reps, and differences in capacity usage. But they're competitive in, like, if you could compare shield versus armor, they both have advantages and drawbacks. But in fleets and gang warfare, that's where shield is still good because of the logistical system and using the shield field module, which has been modified during the latest balance patch, but still good, still better than the armor links, which do require much more logistical support. Because, well, armor links just function way differently, and you can't protect the entire fleet with an armor link. You can just protect your squad, and you can't actually protect it. You just share the damage. That means the Logi guys need to keep up with multiple targets, as opposed to the Guardian ship, which uses the shield field module, the shield guardians, of course, which only they need to be sustained. Well, yeah, you see the problem there. Congratulations, Hi! Let's move over to the second winner of today, which is Silverchair, with the comment, I recently undusted my Caracol Navy issue as chasing the meta has become a dull affair in EVE while waiting for skills to secure the Raven. So I went all shields, small booster and 2 invulnerability this time, playing close range. It ties nicely with mixed defense and loading bay rigs, max advanced and appropriate skills coupled with torpedoes and rapid combos, in case those frigates pop in, of course. All this running with 2 Nosferatus and a warp scrambler which took down a Condor 2 interceptor trying to PvP me in a storyline mission in low-sec. Cheeky bugger. Good fight, actually. Yeah, that's a good achievement. I think I want to do up the Manticore next purely to clear encounters quickly. By the way, I think they've changed it to 10 minutes in between bounty rewards. I recalled it, timing it. We'll double check. Meanwhile, cheers for an update. Sever is back online. He came back on his comment, and yeah, the bounty tick has not been changed. It's still 20 minutes. Congratulations, Silver Chair. Let's move over to our third and final winner of today, which is Dark Lord of Apathy. With the comment, I used to armor tank until the balance patch and have switched to shield tanking. Additionally, the medium shield booster is more HP/cap efficient than the large. With the faster cycle times, it definitely feels better. Apples to apples, running solo T10 anomalies, the medium is plenty and allows me to fit more aggressive power grid hungry modules, so now my DPS goes up because of it. Love your content, especially for our op-ed pieces. No, not a hidden mechanic for this event is too. Yeah, this is a reveal. Thank you, Dark Lord of Apathy. Another, let's not call it exploit because it's not really an exploit. It's something that you can do in the game, and so far has not been patched or acknowledged by the developers that it is an exploit, so it's valid mechanic until proven otherwise. Steps for this hidden mechanic: go to the same instance with your corp mates. The last 2 digits of the Nihilist pocket will be the same. As mentioned for our first winner, there are multiple systems of each, and of course you will see the numbers which correspond to the current system. This means that once you manage to rotate between all of them or whatever, you'll end up in a system, and if your corp mates join and, I don't know, just go die and then pick another system, don't pick the last system button because it will take you to the same system. Just pick the parallel system again and it will teleport you to a different one, hopefully. At one point you will all be getting into the same system. That is the purpose of step 1. 2. Fleet up once you're in. 3. Someone start to warp to the sun and someone else warp to them while they're mid-warp, so they stop in the middle of space somewhere. Yeah, you can create bookmarks in those systems, but you cannot access the bookmark interface, so you can't warp into your bookmarks in those Nihilist systems. But you can pull this off by having a corp mate just warping in between, so it kind of creates a safe spot while he's still in there. Have the rest of the group warp to him, and there you have it. You've created an entire fleet safe location for everyone. So let's move over to number 4 because it does get interesting. Everyone takes turns killing each other for tokens. Number 5, after you quit and respawn, just hit the return to last area of space button on the event page to get back into the same server. Fleet back, warp to the guy or the people that are still in that safe spot, not at the planet, not at the beacons. So given the fact that you can't scan people inside the event systems, being in a safe spot is awesome. And like number 7 question mark and number 8 profit, this is exactly what you can do. Have big costly ships that are highly valued in kills when it comes to interstellar tokens. You just have to get into such a safe spot, and everyone just needs to get back to that safe system and die, and you take turns killing each other, basically generating more points per time spent in the event than actually just trying to get with the previous mechanic that I told you in the previous video, being cloaked near the beacon and just sitting idly and farming. Yeah, that is a good AFK solution, but if you're looking for something more active, you can do exactly this. And big ships that cost plenty, they will be generating plenty of interstellar tokens. I think I managed to destroy a Bargorn and I got like 60 interstellar tokens. So yeah. Thank you very much for the information, Mr. Dark Lord of Apathy. Congratulations to our 3 lucky winners, and thank you all for participating. Do stick around until the end of the video because we'll be having yet another community question of the week with 3 more lucky winners that will receive an Omega combo clone each. One of the subjects of today that I really wanted to talk about is the fact that the devs kind of screwed us over again with this event, and I did review it, but after I finished filming that piece, I actually realized something, that they have modified the event. We'll quickly go over to the store page and I'll quickly demonstrate. So we've got the Interstellar store, and we can buy the Interstellar secret trafficking container, which yields, or can yield if opened with a secret key, a box that you can get like nanocores, right? Which is pretty cool. It just costs only 200 tokens, and then we have the secret trafficking key, which is 5,000 tokens. Now, when the event launched, we had 10 keys available, and we could have been farming and, you know, enjoying the rewards of the event by farming for tokens to get the keys, and then get some boxes and opening them up, so we would get something. A couple of days after the event launched, I think somebody realized, well, 10 keys is probably too much. We're incentivizing the people to head into event and farm. Wow, that's a really bad thing for the people to do. I mean, they shouldn't be enjoying this. Who are we to give them so much? So what they decided, and this is something that many players have noticed, the secret trafficking keys, instead of 10 keys that you could have bought with Interstellar tokens, have been reduced to just 2. So if you manage to bought multiple keys in the first days of the event by farming enough points, then good for you. If you manage to just farm 5,000 and then 5,000, and then you just went for more, and you started trying to get more keys out of this store, out of this specific store, using Interstellar tokens, then you were in for a miserable revelation. The number of the keys was reduced from 10 to 2, meaning can't buy any more keys. Why this change? We don't know, but it's probably due to the fact that they actually needed us to get over into the hot menu of the store and buy them with Aurum or Plex. Now, I think this is why they issued that specific email in-game in which you received 20,000 skill points, in which they actually apologize for the inconveniences. But you don't do this kind of things. I mean, if you implemented something, actually 10 keys would have been okay. It wouldn't have been enough to get the 20 boxes open, which basically kind of feel like a gacha. Actually, it is a gacha system, because after opening 20 of these boxes with keys, you get a consolation prize. The consolation prize is a guaranteed faction box nanocore, if I'm not mistaken, which is dumb. It's gacha, yeah? Pity mechanisms shouldn't be in EVE, even if it's a mobile game. Come on. And honestly, 10 keys for 10 boxes, that could have been a good trade. You managed to get half using the in-game currency that we provided with the event. If you want more, go ahead and pay. But no, they removed it. Now you can only buy 2. So if you want to reach 20, you definitely have to get more deep hands in your pockets and, well, buy stuff, which is stupid in my opinion. They should have kept the 10 keys. That could have been pretty okay. People have been enjoying the event, even though it's broken. They would enjoy it as much as they can, I don't know, using covert ops to farm points, or going into carriers and camping the hell out of those systems, or just sitting in the PvE, which, by the way, in the PvE side, we still haven't reached the target of 500 bases destroyed. It's taking it really, really slowly. We can see it in the event panel. We go to Epic Voyages, and it's sitting at 425, which is pretty okay. The event is not over yet, but yeah, it took forever to get to this number. Sometimes I actually ask myself, why do we need to pay additionally for stuff again and again and again and again? It's absurd. I mean, we are already paying. Yeah, the ones that we are actually having a subscription, and we're paying our game time with the Omega combo. That's $15, right? We're paying a fee monthly so we can benefit from our skills, we can benefit from the stuff that we have and use them and enjoy the game, the full content of the game. Why do we have to pay extra for extra passes, for extra currencies, or for gacha systems and casino slot machines? What is the point of all this extra costs. You don't need to rip off people, guys. You need to make sure that the game is in tip-top shape, that the core issues are fixed. I talked about this in many previous videos. If you make the game great, people will pay for their subscription. The game should be able to survive just via subscription, and of course cosmetics, skins, or whatever. Not pay for content, not pay for stuff being locked behind a paywall. This is horrible in my opinion, and it's a bad way to monetize a game that could be amazing. It has so much potential, and it's being pulled back by these weird monetization schemes that NetEase is still trying to pull on us. Now, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, May update is just around the corner. We did get a bit of the content that is promised in the trailer for May, which is player-to-player co-op missions. And opinions vary on that one. Some think it's really great, some think it's a waste. I'll have to investigate more, and I'll come up with my own conclusion in a future video. But the other two spots occupied by the card for May are the new industrial ships Rorqual, Orca, and Noctis, and the new industrial modules Mobile Tractor Unit, Mining Foreman, Burst, Industrial Modules, and Capital Miners. Now, there's been some hearsay that they might even introduce mining drones, but I have no confirmation on that. I can't remember if they did mention it in the dev roundtable or in the public chat on Discord, in general chat. If NetEase Cloud engaged with the players and actually did what he stated would do in the dev roundtable. But let's take a bit of time to analyze this. So I made a video some time ago about the introduction of these capital mining ships, which are not supposed to be mining ships at all. They're supposed to be fleet mining ships, therefore like providing support for mining. For example, in EVE Online, Orca has the ability to store ships, just like any other capital, but it's considered a sub-capital, but it's not actually a sub-capital. It's bigger than a battleship, but it's sub-capital than a capital. You get the drift. So it has the ability to store ships, to make them available to launch them, and players to hop inside them, to use them on demand. It has a ginormous ore hold in which all the miners can just deposit the ore they mined inside of the Orca, like acts as the corp hangar. Yeah, Orca has a corp hangar inside of it. And they can just dump the ore there, so they don't have to travel to the station back and forth, losing time, warping. They can just focus on mining, and the Orca just sits there, gives bonuses, because yeah, it has that ability, gives bonuses to all the miners, and then carries the ore to station once in a run, and comes back to assist and provide support. Now, in EVE Echoes, these are probably gonna be cut in half, like no ship bay, which you can swap your ships inside the Orca, but we'll probably see the ore hold still stands, and of course the bonuses that might be used in form of the mining form and bursts and other industrial modules that the Orca might be able to fit. And the same situation is for the Rorqual. In EVE Online, Rorqual is a capital industrial. It can enter siege or triage mode, or whatever you want to call it, industry mode, whatever. And it can basically run a production line using the ore that is stored in itself, just like the Orca, to compress it. And it also provides ginormous bonuses to the entire fleet and with miners, and that was pretty much its purpose. However, in EVE Echoes, both of these ships will probably have, mining modules fitted on them. Capital mining modules, what the hell? So you're turning capital logistic ships for miners into mining ships. Why would you do that? I don't know. I just hope it's gonna be good content. This is the least I can do. But I did talk about in that episode, which I reviewed the ships, I actually estimated that the mineral prices might go down even more, which might crash the mineral market or the ore market, and therefore everyone that is mining could be facing severely low prices, which don't generate any income, or how should I put it, any incentive to mine anymore. If you're in a venture or in a low-grade ship for mining, you can't compare yourself with the amounts that the capital ships will be able to scoop in if we do get these capital miners. And honestly, if the price drops too low, then mining in ventures for new players is just going to become obsolete. Which is stupid, because it begs the question, then why are the ventures in the game? And what a new player which hopes to get into mining should do in the low tech levels? That's a good question that should be addressed to the developers. I also discovered something that I think I missed inside. It was put inside the patch notes in one of those patches. By the way, the development team is currently on vacation. There's a national holiday, 7 days of holiday in China, so we won't get many answers if we try to push them on Discord or anything. But a thing that was brought to my attention, and which I failed to see in one of the patch notes, was the fact that a very important nullsec war tactic mechanic has been almost entirely removed. Yeah, we could say that. It's been completely removed from the game. Something that, well, in warfare, people tend to do. And this applies also to modern warfare. In our times, if you want to cripple the enemy economy, you hit like some specific targets in order to stop his war machine so you can press on with the attack. Or it's the other way around. The defenders start crippling some of the attackers' supply lines and infrastructure in order to halt the advance of the enemy so they can regroup and push back the invasion. Well, it's pretty standard war tactics, and we did have something similar to this in EVE Echoes. The pirate bases. You were able to cripple your enemy's economy just a bit. You could have assembled a fleet and, you know, go into PvP on enemy territory and target the pirate bases. Yeah, the ones that were being farmed by the people inside the system. If it was a high level system like level 9 base, level 10 base, destroying that would basically cripple the system for a couple of days until the pirate base gets back to speed on its proper level corresponding with security status of the system. Yeah, you would cripple them, their ability to generate ISK out of PvE for that system, and it was a valid war tactic. So what they did was they gave the ability to respawn or actually refresh your pirate base if it has been destroyed. I think you need to pay like a bunch of fuel and your base will be reset in 48 hours. You'll have your base back to normal. Now, compared to how much it took for the base to respawn and get back to its actual value corresponding to the system security status, this basically rendered this war tactic of destroying the enemy pirate bases and affecting their ISK flow and their ISK generation capabilities kinda pointless. And I think this is pretty awful. Why did they implement this? To prevent griefing? But it's nullsec. I mean, I understand preventing griefing in highsec. There's already a method for that. Highsec is banned from PvP. But in nullsec, any tactic which is not exploitive should be a good tactic. It's actually a war game tactic to force your enemy into submission by cutting off his supply lines. And what they did, well, fuck the supply lines. We're just gonna allow everyone to respawn their ISK generation content, and that's that. What the hell, guys? Come on. Is anyone actually thinking of what that designing or changing within this game? I enjoyed the dev roundtable talk, and I actually understood the pain he's been going through, like sitting and working overtime up until even 2 a.m. in the morning. I tend to do stuff like this. Sometimes I'm a software engineer, and if I have something that I need to deliver and it's actually work and soul and it's my spirit that's been implemented in that code, yeah, I'm gonna see it finished because it's my responsibility and I actually want it finished. I want to see the final product. But if you're at least working on stuff and you're working until 3 a.m, at least try to understand or justify the reason for which you are working, for which you are implementing. If what you're doing does not make sense, raise a hand. Maybe nobody listens to them either. Maybe the designers just don't give a crap on what the developers actually want to implement. And then, well, no, we need to do this. And, well, in the end, the development team is actually the execution team, and they need to implement what somebody else told them to implement. So I don't know who has the hat, but for crying out loud, you're wearing the hat backwards, mate. Put it back on, look in the mirror, and try to understand what you're deciding, because the designs that have been coming up since the launch of the game are complete bullshit. Somebody actually suggested at one point, if you compare the Halloween event with the rest of the events that have been deployed after that in recent times, you can actually say that it was somebody else entirely who thought of that special event, which actually made sense and incentivized people to play in it and offered pretty cool rewards, and was global. It was New Eden cluster wide, and everyone could participate and had fun, and it offered PvP. We didn't have exploration at the time, but still, it was a well thought, even if it had some problems, it was a well thought event compared to the other ones that launched after it, which were complete crap. It's like somebody else entirely took over and started spewing this nonsensical content, and this does not apply just only to events, it applies to multiple aspects of the game. And why? This is the question that we need to ask. Why is this being done and implemented? They've provided some justification for this in the dev roundtable, but as much as I would side with them on their justifications, the inception of the actual content that they wanted to change or they implement, it's poorly thought of. Why spend an entire month trying to overhaul the entire game in terms of balance when you could be actually analyzing balance every 2 weeks, every month, and let's say every 2 months you get a small balance patch, which can lead to more micromanagement of the actual features and how they behave and interact with each other. And you can do small adjustments along the way every time, on every iteration. It actually helps a lot more than having this big workload in which you have to think of some solutions. And, well, because you don't sleep and you work day and night, you come up with half-baked, half-assed solutions that sometimes even we as players ask ourselves, what the fuck are they doing over there? So we've reached that point of the video where we announce the next community question of the week, and given what we've just talked about, the community question is, do you feel that the developers are interfering with the sandbox? Why is the question? This question was born out of the curiosity of understanding why have they meddled with Plex prices, and why have they meddled with war tactics and the mechanics of the sandbox itself, just eliminating something that was logical and useful in war games. If you want to participate, drop a comment below with your in-game name and your character ID and the answer to the question, and get a shot at winning one of the 3 Omega Combo clones next week. That's it for today. I hope you guys learned something. Thank you guys for watching. Give a big shout out to my channel supporters, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.